Hey everybody, what's up? It's Vix, and welcome back to another episode of Doodle Craft. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different than the last episode, because in the last episode we were talking about what was happening in the game. I was talking about what was happening in the game and explaining it, but in today's episode I'm actually going to be talking about something else. I'm going to be talking about the new and improved version of my little project, Creatures of Study. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a little project I've been working on. It's a story, but it's also connected to trading cards that I'm making. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But basically, I've been trying to rant about some of the lore and stuff on video, just to explain my creative process and stuff. See if people actually want to hear about it. It's been pretty fun. But basically, if you did know what it was already, ignore everything you learned about it. I had to rewrite it again because my brain decided that it was not what I wanted it to be. And I made a huge freaking connection. So, let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so first off, what are the different things a character can be? What are the different hybrids or whatever, the fantasy races, right? So we have the lycanthropes. The lycanthropes are werewolves, obviously. But it's a little bit different in this. It can be any sort of canine, so werewolf, so it could be a wolf, a coyote, a dog. Literally any canine could be a lycanthrope. And then we have, on the other hand, philanthropes, which are cat werewolves, werecats, whatever you want to call them. Then we have avians. For those of you in the MCYT fandoms, you already know what an avian is. It's a bird hybrid. So, it's a person with bird wings, but, of specific species of birds. We don't really explore those too much in Creatures of Study. I haven't made a specifically avian character yet, but we might. I don't know yet. And then we have elves, obviously, classic, right? And then we have something I'm calling elytron, and those are bug-winged elves. So fairies, but I wanted to call them something better because, if you don't know, elytra is the actual word for a, bug beetle wings. It's what they're actually called, and that's where the thing in Minecraft gets its name. Anyway, so those are those. And let me give you the kingdom names now. We have 5 kingdoms to kind of go with each of the races. I think we only have 5. There might only be 5. There might be 6. I can't remember. I think there's 5. I'm trying to find the page in my binder. I have a massive binder for this. Yep, there's 6. Okay, so we have the Mountain Kingdom, where all of this takes place, like Hannick. If you remember in the last one, we had Sansnia. I ditched Sansnia. Sansnia no longer exists. And then we have the Desert Kingdom of Talith. So I just learned that a Talith is a Jewish prayer shawl. I didn't know that when I named the kingdom. So we're calling it Codith now. That'll be on screen in a minute. But yeah, we're changing the name of that. Whoops. Which is very important for the story. We have Felinity, which is a forest kingdom. We have Utopia, but spelled a little bit different. I will put that on screen, which takes place in the plains. We have Lupanity, which is a valley kingdom, and Aviation, which is a forest kingdom, but it's a pine forest and not an oak forest like Felinity is. And those are the kingdoms. And next I'm gonna talk about... Actually, I think I'll deep dive into... Oh, yeah, also we have a little bit of a magic system. I haven't quite figured it all out. It's very loosely inspired by... if you know them, June's idea for Prism with the whole states of matter thing, except I was thinking about that before June came out with that video of I Need You to Know. But basically there's liquid magic, solid magic, and energy and like gas magic. But like it's just different forms of magic. There's nothing else special about it. It's all the same pretty much. But one of the objects that the characters can use if they need to is a liquid magic sunscreen, basically. And it basically just nullifies the effects of heat, so they don't have to like change clothes if they went into a desert or something. Just thought I'd mention that. Okay, now I'm gonna deep dive into Talith a little bit. Talith is one of the kingdoms, like I mentioned. It's the desert kingdom. And the characters that are from there, well, actually fully from there, are Emmy, Emilia, and Nessith, also known as Nessie. Ryder and Jaspani, aka Jasper, are Nessie's kids, so they're half Telithian. And Talith has a lot to do with the story, I'm gonna be real. It's not where the setting is, but there's so much here. It's got 3 holidays, 2 take place in the fall and 1 in the summer. There's a Feast of the People, which is just a giant meal that the entire like nation eats together. I don't really know if I would call it a nation. It's like they travel everywhere. They don't stay in one place because they follow the wind, their wind god Solith, which is represented, but I will get into Solith later, actually. I want to finish talking about this, the holidays. And then there's the Day of Spirits, which is a day of respect for the dead. I use the term celebrated here loosely, but it's celebrated by making and burning what I call spirit cloths and lighting of candles, often accompanied by a feast. I might combine Day of Spirits and Feast of the People. I am not entirely sure yet. And then there's the Day of Crickets, which is a festival with cricket-themed activities, and it's usually on the windiest day of the year. Because the wind god Solith is often represented by crickets. The Elytran tend to live in Talith and are considered honored by Solith, often being called Codith, which just means honored by Solith. So Solith is the main god of worship by the Telithian people. He is the god of the wind. He guides the people of Talith by using the wind. He also guides the spirits of the dead to the underworld, and he's often represented by crickets and lizards. So, that's all about Talith. I don't have much more in terms of kingdoms, but I can do a little quick dive into a character I've talked about a little bit named Emilia. So Emilia Talith is one of the antagonists in the story. She's a shady scientist. She is an Elytran, and she comes from Talith, as you probably figured out. Emmy is an introverted scientist who developed the creatures for the show Lunar Effect. Oh, I didn't explain this. The creatures of Study are not normal to the world. They were created by Emmy for a science fiction show called Lunar Effect. And when they travel around, they just release them into the wild instead of, like, killing them or anything. And then they became, like, invasive species. So they've, like, they're starting to, like, take over, and that's why they've gotten noticed by our main characters that I haven't talked about yet. But Emmy is the scientist who made the creatures for Lunar Effect. She was the youngest child of Elicodith and Elenith, who are the leaders of Talith and the parents of two of the main characters' mom, Nesseth's mom, actually. She ran away from home because she was very idolized in the kingdom for being an elytron. So she doesn't really take care of her wings nowadays. Her projects often burn her wings and her clothes, so she has a lot of holes in them. But that's because she doesn't take care of her wings, because she doesn't care about them. She doesn't want to be known for them. But after running away from home, she met Jessica, and the two became fast friends, developing the show lunar effect together. She doesn't care for much except science, and maybe Jessica? Maybe? I don't know. And she is 25 years old. Let's talk about our main characters now. So we have, I'll just go in order of how I have them here. We have Morgan Pierce. Morgan is a philanthrope from the kingdom of Felinity. She's 21, and she's one of the main protagonists. She comes from a family of highly regarded performers. She did a lot of the acrobatic stuff, like tightrope walking and such. Basically, she comes from a circus. She comes from a circus family. Her father died, and her brother ran away. Her brother, Felix, ended up working with Emmy and Jessica on the show Lunar Effect. He's one of the actors of one of the main characters, but he doesn't know about all the super shady stuff. He knows about some of it, but he doesn't know about all of it, and he doesn't know how to leave. But after her father died and her brother ran away, business really went down for the circus. And Morgan's mother tried to make Morgan look more appealing for the male gaze, which caused Morgan to run away as well, eventually discovering and studying the creatures, because she's like, this is weird, why are these here, what are these? So she's one of our main characters. Next we have Orion Stormvale. He's 20. He's another main protagonist. He's from Lycanic, and he's an elf. Orion comes from a very large family. His father is one of the noblemen and is on the council of Lycanic, though his father is rather abusive. Orion usually stays away from home while his father is home, but when his father isn't home, he's usually taking care of his little siblings. He rebels against his father in any way he can, even spiking and dyeing his hair. Him being a guy is also a rebellion of sorts. He was not assigned male at birth. His partner Brighter is nothing but supportive of him, having a custom binder made for him. Next we're on to Jespani. Jespani is the youngest of our main crew. He is 18. He's another main protagonist. He's a lycanthrope, and he comes from Lycanic. His last name is Lycanic. Did I mention any of their last names? I don't know. Orion's is Stormvale and Morgan's is Pierce, but it's spelled weirdly, and I'll put it on screen because that's important. Sort of. Jespani, also known as Jasper, is the second born of the Lycanian royal family. He's autistic, and his brother Ryder often makes him custom clothes to suit his sensory needs while staying in trend. He is fixated on fitting in and making his father, King Ares, proud of him, engrossing himself in celebrity gossip as if he isn't a celebrity. He often spends time posting on social media and reading magazines. His mother named him Jespani, which means pure gem in the Telethian language, though he goes by Jasper online. He studies the creatures because he hyperfixated on them, whatever you feel. And then he invited Jasper, and Orion came along because he had nothing to do. He invited Ryder, and then Orion came along because he had nothing to do. And lastly, we have Ryder. So, Ryder Lycanic. writer is a lycanthrope. He is from the kingdom of Lycanic. Obviously, he's 21. He's another main protagonist. He's the firstborn son of the Lycanian royal family. He takes his job as heir very seriously, barely having time to make for Jasper and Orion, often sewing them clothes in his occasional bits of free time. He loves his brother and Orion more than anything in the world, and studies the creatures just to make sure that Orion and Jasper are safe, because he really cares. He cares a lot. I think I already went over Emmy, so I think that's all the super details I have. I can give you some names for the creatures. So I have two names. We have the common name, and we have a sort of kind of like scientific name. Morgan really wanted scientific names. She's gonna put those on her cards, and then the rest of them are just gonna have the common names. So for scientific names, we have Felis amor, Deceptorid, Orvis flora, Pisces strider, Formifugus, Stelio, Gruis marsupium, Tertus canum, Sphyxindere mysis, and Cancer mimica. Solith doesn't get a name. Solith. Oh, did I mention that Solith was a creature? I don't think I did. Yeah, so Emmy accidentally made Solith as a creature. She accidentally made Solith as a creature, and then she got really freaked out about it. So, yeah, she, freaked out and almost squished it, but it ran away, and then Jasper discovered it. So, Solith doesn't get a, fancy scientific name. He's just Solith. And then for the common names, we have Levitin, Chirkabbit, Rooteep, which might change because, Battern, Flame-faced Lion, Pouch Crane, Turtund, Sharp-handed Mouse, and Mimic Crab, and then Solith, like I said. And that's it. Thanks y'all for letting me rant. This has been Vix. This has been Creatures of Study. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought in the comments, please. Be sure to subscribe if you want more of this. I'm very excited about this project. I just want to see where it takes me.